Moonshot just published a 2.8 trillion parameter model called Kimi K3, and the license fee to Moonshot is zero. 2.79 million downloads in under a week. Most operators paying for GPT-5 have not heard the name yet. Anyone paying 4 or 5 figures a month for Claude or GPT-5 on content support bots or internal agents can cut that line item this week. One video, 1 point. I will show you what it replaces, what it does not, and the one line of code that moves you across. Open weights means the model file itself is public. Any host on Earth can serve it, and you pay whichever host you pick for the compute, not a license fee back to the vendor. Moonshot went from 1 trillion parameters on K2 to 2.8 trillion on K3 in a single generation. Nearly a 3 times jump in one release. The paper is called Open Frontier Intelligence. They are not being subtle about what tier they think they are in. Here is the part your bookkeeper cares about. I asked Claude to price a real month for me. 30 million input tokens, 15 million output, a modest content and support workload for a small operator. GPT-5 lands at $187.50 a month. Claude Opus at $1,575. Kimi K3 at $19.50. Same 3 prompts, 3 vendors, 3 answers your accountant reads very differently. $19 against $1,500, same month, same tokens, 1 API string swapped. Over a year, $16,650 back in the business, off Opus alone. Subscribe if you want the next one of these before your competitor does. The channel covers every free open weights drop the day it ships, the next Kimi, the next Quen, the next Llama. The exact commands and the OpenRouter route are in the pinned comment. And the Church of SEO Jesus, my free school community, link below, is where the setup walkthrough and the cost sheet I keep updated live, and where I answer when a swap breaks. Now the strongest proof, and I want you to see the receipt yourself, live query against the OpenRouter model's endpoint. Kimi K3 is right there on the board, $3 per million input tokens, 15 per million output. Context window, 1,048,000 tokens. Your entire product docs, every support ticket from last quarter, a full codebase in 1 prompt with room to spare. Claude Opus on the same board, $15 in, $75 out. Kimi K3 at 1/5 of the input cost, 1/5 of the output. The math holds at bigger scale too. 10 times the volume, 300 million input, 150 million output, and Kimi K3 comes in at $195 against $15,750 on Opus. $15,500 saved a month. Same output shape. Scale flatters the swap. It never punishes it. Here is what the swap actually is, because it is smaller than people think. Your app is already calling an API somewhere. You change the base URL to OpenRouter. You change the model name to moonshotai/Kimi-K3. You keep the same code, the same prompts, the same everything. 1 line. 10 seconds of work. No new library, no new SDK, no new dashboard for anyone to learn. The first workflow to move is content drafts. High volume, low stakes, easy to A/B against your current provider. Pick your last 20 briefs, run them both side by side. If Kimi writes your first draft at 90% of the quality for 2% of the cost, the math wins on Monday. An agency writing 40 pieces a week burns roughly 10 million output tokens a month. On Opus, that is $750 just on drafting. On Kimi K3, the same shelf costs $10. You keep the expensive model for final polish and the margin equation flips overnight. Support replies are second. Templated answers, small context per ticket, thousands of them a month. Route the boring 80% through Kimi, and keep Claude on the 20% that actually needs judgment. A 5-person shop with a chatbot handling 100,000 tickets a quarter was looking at a 4-figure GPT-5 bill. Same volume routed through K3 lands in the tens of dollars. Same tickets, same customers, 1 API string swapped. Same customer satisfaction score, 1 order of magnitude less spend. Internal agents a third. The scripts your team runs on a schedule to summarize meetings, tag leads, tidy your CRM, draft the vendor emails your bookkeeper never wants to write. Every one of them is a per token bill wearing a productivity mask. Move the reliable jobs to Kimi and keep the judgment jobs on the expensive model. Same output, different vendor on the invoice line. The savings compound because these things run every night forever. Open huggingface.co/moonshotai/Kimi K3 yourself right now. Look at the download counter and the updated 5 days ago stamp. The counter is the proof, not me telling you. What I am not telling you. Benchmarks are not on the model card. I have not personally raced K3 against GPT-5 on tool use or long context recall yet, and the model card does not publish those scores either. If your workload is code review with weird edge cases, keep Claude in the loop for now and route the boring stuff to Kimi. Nobody said you have to pick one. Multi-provider routing is the whole point of a layer like OpenRouter. You gate model choice by workflow, by prompt length, by customer tier. Cheap for volume, expensive for judgment. The whole strategy in one line. The Frontier Lab pricing model, the one where you pay per token for every draft, every reply, every agent step, just got a mirror, and the mirror does not charge per token back to the lab. Every operator who was told the price was the price now has a second answer. $16,650 a year. Claude itself gave me that number for the swap off Opus, not my number, their number. Your bookkeeper does not care whose number it is, your investor does not either, your competitor already noticed, or they will by Friday. One more reminder before I let you go, because the swap is the easy part and the sticking points come after. The Church of SEO Jesus, my free school community, is where I keep the OpenRouter setup walkthrough, the cost per million token sheet I update as new hosts pick up K3, and the exact prompt swaps I ran to move content drafting off Opus without the quality drop. Link is in the description, joining is free, and it is where I answer when a swap breaks at 11 PM on a Tuesday. The window here is short. Every operator paying for a Frontier API is one competitor away from figuring this out. The ones who move first eat the margin, the ones who wait give back. 2.79 million downloads. Most of them are not you yet. Next video, I run K3 against Claude on a real 30,000 word content pipeline, same brief both sides, and post the bill, same operator, 2 vendors, 1 weekend. See you there.